Hey guys, this is Nefarious411 and welcome to episode 86 of my modded survival series. In the previous episode we played around with generating air pressure or compressed air. I'm using the flux compressor, and this is working out pretty well because this is basically putting us into the advanced pressure tubes, which allows us pretty high pressures. Definitely compared to what the system was before, which was around 4.5 to 5. We're actually getting up to like 18, 19 PSI in this network, and this is working out really well. So today I want to take a look at a couple of things, and one of those is to start looking at drones. In PneumaticCraft, you have these guys called drones, which are basically just like real-world drones, a little airship, quadricopter in this particular case, and this uses air pressure to be able to power it rather than any kind of battery or RF or something like that. And we already have the things that can actually build these, so let me actually do that real quick. Turbine, so we need 3 of these guys, and what was the next part? Drone. Let me go ahead and... Ooh, I forgot about the bees. Logistics drone. I am not familiar with that one. Logistic frames. Okay, so that's not something that we're going to get into, but we at least want to try one of these guys. So I also need a printed circuit board. Printed circuit board. So let's go ahead and do that. And I guess I need another one of these turbine rotors, because for some reason I was thinking 3, but I need 4 to do that. Alright, there we go. And printed circuit board, see if that's done, and it is. There we go. We got our drone. And by itself, we can use this little charging pad, just as we did with the pneumatic wrench. We just pop this guy on there, and it will be able to put pressure into the drone. I'm not exactly sure how high of a pressure that you can get. Hopefully it doesn't blow up or anything like that. We're already past the 7 bars of pressure. Seems to be holding up pretty well. 10 bars of pressure. Okay, so the same as what we get with the pneumatic wrench. This seems to top out at 10 bars of pressure, which is cool. But by itself, it really doesn't do anything. We can place it in the world, and it spins up. And slowly but surely, you can see that it actually has a health bar. So there's different modules that you can put on this guy. And one of those, I actually should get my pneumatic wrench out, because I believe, just like the Yeta wrench, this is its mechanic for picking up that guy. I'm just right-clicking on him, and you can see that it put it back into my inventory. Use a little pressure out of the pneumatic wrench. I think if you hit it, I am not sure what I did there. That was kind of weird, but you can see that it does take damage. Can't shift right click or anything. You do have to use the pneumatic wrench, and that is actually kind of cool though. It has its own little mechanic there. So let's go ahead and take a look at this, because obviously it can't really do much on its own. We probably need to be able to program that, and to do that we will need what this is called a programmer. And it looks like we need another printed circuit board. It's pointless to create a recipe for this, since you really only need the one. So let me go ahead and create those real quick. There we go. We have the 2 turbine rotors, and the printed circuit board should be ready. And there we go. We have a programmer, I think. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and come in here, place it basically anywhere. I don't think we need any particular place for it. I'm just going to put it right here, and you can see that the user interface, basically a big blank screen right now. We have the ability to put our drone in there, and this allows us to program it. And basically this is just using all of these different types of puzzle pieces, and you can see that they all fit together. Puzzle pieces, they all fit together in a particular pattern. You can make the drones do whatever you want. which is kind of cool. I don't have any of these puzzle pieces, and I'll show you real quick how to create those, but you can see that it goes from being able to filter items, has a liquid filter, it can attack entities, right click on entities, deal with inventories, export import. You can export import from entities such as players, which is pretty cool. Power down, suicide, which is kind of weird, I guess. Where's that? There's one which is suicide right there. I guess that just kills itself. I don't know what the use of that one would be. I probably don't want to play around with that one right now. You can even connect it to PneumaticCraft right here, so you can control by computers or vice versa, I think. Craft things, all sorts of things, which is pretty cool. And it all uses air pressure to do this. So that is very, very cool. So what I want to do is probably create a few of these puzzle pieces. I'm not going to really go into a lot of depth with this because I really, at this stage of the game, I really don't need to deal with any kind of drones doing farming. I could have them come out here and replace a lot of the gardening stuff. Whoa, that is a lot of stuff coming into my inventory right now. Chopping down trees, doing farming. I can even have it deal with all of the bees, things like that. But I honestly don't need any of that stuff right now. It's just more of a let's play with drones and see what we can get into. But I don't know, we might play around with a little bit. So let's go ahead and create a couple of pieces. I'll probably do a lot of this off camera because a lot of the pieces require the plastics, and right now I don't have an easy way to automate the creation of the plastics without going over there and clicking on the button to create them for me. And as you can see, these all use printed circuit boards with plastic around it. Most of these we get 4 back. Yeah, it looks like they're all 4 pieces back, so it's basically two pieces of plastic and a printed circuit board to get one of these programming puzzle pieces. And you can actually see from the wiki what each of these do. Blue, used to program drones. I guess they don't have anything special about the NEI integration. I guess if I had the in-game wiki mod, I'd be able to see more, but most of these are pretty self-explanatory once you get into the programmer unit. So what I want to do right now is probably go ahead and create the recipes for things that I believe that I will need, such as being able to attack entities or whatnot. And printed circuit board, I guess I need one of these to get started, which takes a little bit because it actually has to do all of the laser stuff. But once I have that, I'll be able to start creating some of these different recipes, and I will be right back. Alright, I went through and I created several recipes, as you can see. So let me actually scroll down here and you can see all of the puzzle pieces that I created. I basically created recipes for all of the different colors, and I was trying to figure out a good way to automate the creation of the plastics, but unfortunately in this version of PneumaticCraft on the 1.7.0, 1.7.10, whichever version of the Direwolf pack I'm using, it doesn't actually have the latest version of PneumaticCraft. The newer version supports a redstone signal, just as how these pressure gauge tube modules work. You can specify a redstone signal from 0 to 15, and it'll be able to eject one of these different colors. But unfortunately, like I said, I do not have that version of PneumaticCraft on here. So right now I'm having to do these manually. This isn't going to be forever. If I wanted to do it the naive way, I could probably create like 15 of these plastic mixers and basically have a weird setup so that it'll be able to create plastics for each color. Really don't want to get down that road. So right now I will be creating the plastics manually. So let's go ahead and try a couple of things out with the other programmer. Right now you have the ability to create whatever program that you want, and you can always start with the start piece. And I think what I want to do, let's just play around with it, and let's just pick up some items and export to inventory and drop them in the chest. Yeah, that could work. And you might notice that there are red borders around these puzzle pieces, and that means that there are errors on those sides. And here you can see that there's no area specified, so we actually have to grab one of these little area pieces, and in order to do that we need a GPS unit. So let me go ahead and create a GPS. I think I'll only need really one of these, so I don't have to worry about it too much. There we go. And if I remember right, let's say that I want to collect all of the items dropped from here to here. No, that's not how it works, is it? I think you can only do one set of coordinates at a time, maybe? So if I were to right click on that and point 1, I can set that, and then point 2 up there. There we go. Show the area. Oh, did I not set that? Select GPS 1, select GPS 2. Negative 466. Filled, framed. Cannot remember. Oh, there we go. I guess I hadn't set it yet. So here, once I click on the show area, you can actually see the two sets of corners, and basically the coordinates is from where I placed the GPS, doing a right click, and it is actually the block below, I believe. So yeah, if I break that, you can see that it's the block below. So whenever you place the GPS, it has to be at the block, and unfortunately you can't do that with air blocks, so you might have to put a block here just so that you can right click on it and you can see that it's there. Even though I can break the block, that marker is still in that coordinate space. And here I can actually change this. There we go. And show the area on that one. Now that I changed it, it's no longer in the floor, as you can see here. So that is pretty cool. So now this is going to pick up items within that range. And now I want to export to an inventory. And what I want to do is grab a chest. So let's just grab this chest right here and set the GPS to it. Shift right click, and you can see that it is placed right there. That's cool. And now we need to specify an area. Right click, and I guess the source and the target, or the point 1 and point 2, is probably good enough to be a single coordinate. And you can see, sort of, it's really hard to tell, but whenever you open the chest, there is that block. I could remove this chest real quick, and you can see, need another chest because it was eaten by the stuff downstairs. I'll get it later, but you can see that the coordinates are for this block. So there we go, and that should, I think that should be it. Theoretically, we should be able to copy this, basically take this program and copy it into the drone by clicking that button. But you can see that it does require some puzzle pieces to do. So we need 2 green, a pink, lime, and orange. Puzzle. 2 green. There we go. Pink. There we go. Lime. And orange. Let's go ahead and create one of those. Yeah, it looks like it's having to craft maybe another printed circuit board, so we gotta wait a little bit for that. I guess that's working. But here you can see that now whenever I hover, it's only showing the one lime and one orange as the other missing pieces. So I should be able to, as soon as those are done. Here's the other lime ones, and I'm just now waiting for the orange to complete. I am actually going to turn this volume down because PneumaticCraft is actually fairly large or loud. So let me go ahead and grab the orange out of here. And now that I have it just in my inventory, you can see now just removing this, it's disabled, but having the puzzle pieces in my inventory is enough for it to realize that we can program this. And now that I do that, you can see that it utilizes the little puzzle pieces that I had here. And now I guess it has the program on there, and it's called Drone. You can rename it if you wish. If I were to set it down here and throw a potato, you can see that it was able to pick up that potato. And I'm assuming that it dropped it in that chest, and it did. So that is very nice. Not exactly sure. Well, I was able to pick up all of that. So let me grab a couple of different things for it to pick up. It looks like it can hold maybe a stack at a time. Oops. Let me see if I can grab more than a stack here. Throw a couple of stacks of stone and see what it does with it. I think it will only do one stack at a time. That's what it looks like. I believe you might be able to upgrade. Well, I could be wrong on that. Let me try that again. Throw 1, 2, 3 stacks. That may have been just one stack. Yeah, just one stack at a time. That's not bad. I mean, a full stack, and it can only carry one type of item. I think you might be able to possibly put this back in there. I don't think it can have any kind of upgrades or not. I could be wrong. Where'd it go? Oh, it's downstairs. All right, so let me go grab that, clean out my inventory, and let me go ahead and get the next thing working. I mean, you can tell right now just by having the ability to clean up an area, pick up things. You can have an army of drones that's like a... Let's see. Oop. Oh, that's kind of cool. You can have an army of drones that are doing different types of functions, such as digging areas, picking up the items and putting it into like an ender chest or thing like that. But it might be kind of interesting also to be able to deal with liquids, because right here you can see that I can export and import liquids. The difficulty is basically just changing the types of pieces. Most of these were hidden before. The medium just basically adds any kind of conditional steps, like if you wanted to check to see if there's certain items in a chest, you can actually go down that execution line, certain conditions with the other pressure, things like that. And then whenever we get to the advanced, I think that adds... What is the difference between these two? It adds one additional piece. It looked like crafting for some reason, but no, that's not it. I am not... Oh, there we go. There's a tooltip. Nice. All right, so this enables conditions, jumps, and labels. This one enables coordinates and variables. Okay, so this you can actually do more of the advanced programming with, which might be pretty cool if you're into that sort of thing. It's definitely a lot easier than trying to program ComputerCraft. directly because, I mean, it's just puzzle pieces that you can drag and drop, and they all have ways of fitting onto each other, which is kind of cool. As you can see there, it was very easy to fit them together. But let me just figure out what next to do. Like I said in the beginning, I'm probably not going to do a lot with the drones. It was just more of a experience to be able to play around with it. There might be a project at some point that I might use drones for, but I'm not sure right now. So let me go ahead and clean up and figure out what I'm doing next, and I will be right back. Alright, I am back, and while I was charging the drone, I realized that whenever you put it in here, this little inventory button is now available, and you can see that there are 9 slots, 4 upgrades on the drone, which is really cool. And if you've looked at any of the tabs in the system, it really shows a lot of information, and we can just go through here real quick and see all of the different upgrades that are available. Security upgrade, capable being immune to liquids, so that is pretty cool. Volume upgrade, so this will allow you to put more compressed air. Like right now, it looks like we're at 10 bars. We could get it quite a bit higher, and I guess that would make the drone last a little bit longer. So let me actually try that. So let me create a volume upgrade. There we go. And I don't remember if I have a recipe for that. Compressor. New. I don't. So let me, or canister. Maybe it was called a canister. Oh, I do. I do have one of those recipes. Nice. So let me go ahead and craft up one of those canisters and throw that guy in there. And now we have a volume upgrade. Let me go ahead and grab one of those out because I'm curious. This is just going to be a normal crafting recipe. And you can see that I already created another one, and we'll talk about that one here in a little bit. But let me go ahead and put that in here and see what that does. I'm just very curious. There we go. It looks like it's still 10 bars. No? Oh yeah, it's still 10 bars. I mean, it says volume upgrade, so I'm assuming, yeah, so here we go. So you can see that we have volume upgrade, so we have an extra 5,000. The number of bars stays at the 10 mark, but because of the extra air canister that's in here, and I'm not sure how many of these I can hold. Probably 10, maybe? Don't know. We can actually increase the amount of air that's in it, which is kind of cool. Entity tracker upgrade. When inserted, the drone will have a minigun attached to it, allowing it to perform ranged attacks, which is very cool. So you can actually have it as kind of like an iron golem around your base, just going around and killing entities. Not too shabby. Range upgrade allows you to have farther range on the ranged attacks that you get with the entity tracker upgrade. Speed upgrade, obvious. This one up to 10 upgrades. It'll do 200% max speed. I am going to go ahead and try that because that sounds really cool. Here's 17. It can handle 10. So let me go ahead and do that one. And dispenser upgrade. I went ahead and created the recipe for this, and basically by default you can only carry the 1 stack, as I was mentioning before, but with a dispenser upgrade it'll allow you to transfer an additional stack, which is really cool. And it also affects liquids, so if you were doing a program that used liquids, it could do that as well. So let me go ahead and grab from here let's do 4 dispenser upgrades for now. And the last one is item life upgrade. Drone will be able to auto repair. Don't think we'll really need that one, so I am going to leave it as that. and I'm assuming those are actually in there. It doesn't really give you any of that information here, but if I were to throw the guy down, and let me go ahead and throw a couple of things in here. That is really fast. Definitely faster than it was before. But let me go ahead and drop 1, 2, 3, 4. And let me just grab a bunch of random stuff. And it does look like it's able to carry multiple items at any given time, which is very, very cool. So let me try that again. But this time I'm going to pick him up. That way he's not picking up the stuff while I'm doing it. So let me go ahead and toss these on the ground. Shift Q will allow me to do that. There we go. Just throw a bunch of random stuff, and you can see it on the ground. Let me get rid of my ring of magnetization right now. Did that fall back in here? Poor drone. Yeah, there it is. Stuck in there. I probably need a way to disable those at some point. But let me go ahead and do that. And you can see that it's chugging away. And I guess with the 4 dispenser upgrades, it is able to carry 4 unique stacks, which means if there's multiple types of items on the ground, it'll be able to pick up. So that is very, very cool. That was fast. All right. So yeah, I really like that feature, and I believe you do have the ability to bring the drone back into... I need to figure out a way to disable this because I do not wish to come down here all the time. There we go. Put this guy in there, and I think... Do I have the ability to convert or take these parts out? Import, export. If I were to kill the program, does it give me the puzzle pieces back? I'm assuming that it did because I did not have this many puzzle pieces just a while ago. Let me try the program again real quick. Do I have a dolly around here? I got that one. Probably don't want to use my diamond dolly. Let me just move my chest because I think it did a little bit of magic there. And real quick, let's just do an easy one. Not place, but pick up items. There we go. And this GPS is going to be here. And right click, show area. Oops, I need to put that one there. And here. This gets a little tricky. I don't know, it's a little hard to get used to doing one coordinate at a time. Obviously, just right clicking. You do have the ability to manually set coordinates, which is kind of cool. Alright, so let me stop showing the area. And I guess it didn't really matter on that. So what I want to do is go ahead and program it. You can see that it's grayed out right there. If I put a chest with the pieces in, it does look like the programmer is able to look at adjacent inventories and find the missing puzzle pieces. And it was able to program that in there. So now if I were to do that and get rid of that, if I were to do this, it puts those puzzle pieces into my person's inventory, which is very cool. All right. So I think that is really, really cool. There's different things that we can do with drones. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything with the drones at this time. It was just more of a fun little exercise. I kind of want to upgrade the PneumaticCraft mod and see if there's anything interesting that was released since. I'll have to go through the changelog, but believe this is all I'm going to do with PneumaticCraft for the time being. I could readdress it later, but I am actually getting a little tired of this series. I might be quitting this series at some point. I have been looking at additional mod packs, see what's out there. Nothing's really appealing to me right now, so that's the only big reason why I haven't quit yet. If I do find something, I might go ahead and start that new series and say goodbye to this base. There might be a few building episodes that I might do in the future, but we'll just have to go from there. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up at this time. Probably put the PneumaticCraft stuff to a rest for a while. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you could rate and comment down below, it would be greatly appreciated. And also, if you like the series, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But for now, this is goodbye.